This video is about debunking the myth I too have a Dalit friend. How hypocritical that very statement is. I do have Dalit friends, or any friends for that matter. I do have Muslim friends. I do have your friends. What does these kind of statements emphasize, to be honest? Does the statement mean that the upper caste kids are so free thinking minded that they take a friend from a marginalized community? Is that about their own benevolence, or is it like Dalit kids are so problematic or so innately evil, and to take someone from that particular community as my friend itself is a great revolution in this particular society? Oh, does it make sense anywhere? I don't think so. No matter how hard I try, I could only see the hypocritical casteist, classist, elitist mindset in that particular statement. It re-emphasizes that the mainstream looks at the marginalized or any different kid as only a different kid, but not like every other kid. It's in everyone's mind. When we look into this matter, we need to discuss all the shit problems in school education system. We fails in teaching children about equality, about social movements. This statement is made, alright. Let us look at this particular Dalit friend they are talking about. How is this Dalit friend a representative of all Dalits? You see, when the mainstream kids, the Savarna kids make these statements, they diversify, they classify Dalit kids into two parts. One, a Dalit kid who has money, who has a proper family background, who's fair, who's more like a typical mainstream kid, but only by birth is a Dalit. And this way, there is a Dalit kid who has a darker complexion, whose parents do not have access to education, and this particular Dalit kid is a first generation learner who will be a first generation graduate. So how do the mainstream kids treat these two particular Dalit children, Dalit students or kids? A pseudo privileged Dalit kid will have access to the mainstream kids' home, playgrounds, everywhere. There won't be a much problem until the topic of reservation comes in. Now that's the part where everything just crumbles because of lack of awareness and everything. But this kid is the problematic kid right here. When the mainstream Savarna kids say that I do have a Dalit friend and that particular Dalit friend belongs to this particular description, how do they treat them? I need to localize this particular topic in my region, in Pondicherry region. When the mainstream Savarna kids get into trouble, the upper caste kids get into trouble, they just call them up, the Dalit kids from the margins, from the peripheries, as simply a muscle power, a aid to their fights, arms and ammunitions. That's how they are reduced. They just very proudly boast, all these mainstream upper caste kids so proudly boast, I know these people from this particular Kuppam, this particular Cherry, this particular slum, and if they come in, you are finished. I hope every single one of you would have heard such a statement before. And this particular statement is repeated everywhere. And what happens, what these utterances lead to is our phobia towards these particular Dalit settlements, slums, and the kids themselves. We just think, oh, these kids, these Dalit kids, these SC kids are so problematic. We need to stay away from them. They don't belong to us. Even a Dalit kid would think that. I thought that. Alright? So when a mainstream upper caste kids make this statement, I too know a Dalit friend. Do these mainstream children, do these mainstream adults, bullies, teenagers actually help their Dalit friends to know about the struggles, to know about the other world, to do these people actually help them to emancipate themselves, to learn, to get to know a lot of opportunities, to get to a top chair and whatnot? Do these things happen? Or these Dalit kids are used only as merely a physical power for their protection and to beat someone? That's the question. See, it saddens me, it's highly disheartening to think how students, how kids from the margins are made to think in such a way that they don't need emancipation. Through repeated assertion of this popular media that you don't need education, you just need passion. And there are a lot of other such narratives which keep the children in peripheries at bay. And to add to that particular phenomenon, the upper caste kids also contribute to it and actually victimize the Dalit kids, where the Dalit children are pushed to take up FIRs, cases, and arrest, go to jail, and when they come out, they actually boast about being a murderer, about a thief, about someone who has case, and this cycle continues again and again and again. So automatically, the Dalit kids who had access, whose parents had access to a government job or private job through reservation, kids, these allied Dalit kids will be going up and up and up, and what happens to this part, the marginalized kids, the Dalit kids who are stuck in this particular whirlwind, this fate, this cycle, they just get stuck in there. They don't get to be emancipated, and their life ends right there, and their kids will again get stuck in this particular cycle. And that's what happens. My question is very honest and very simple. How many upper caste kids, when they claim they do have a Dalit friends, try to educate these particular Dalit friends about reservation, about movements, about job opportunities, about other openings for them? Or say, let's say this particular upper caste boy or girl who utilized the slum dwelling boys for their own benefit, for muscle power. This particular upper caste kid gets to a top chair, gets to be a doctor, gets to be an engineer. Do these kind of people, does this particular upper caste boy help the Dalit kid with the Dalit male or female with jobs or something, a job opening, a recommendation or something? The answer is no. You see, this is the problem. The Dalit friends are highly exploited, are highly misused by the mainstream kids. The Dalit friends are only looked at as merely a reinforcement when the upper caste kids are in trouble. The Dalit kids are dehumanized to an extent of being a mere pawn in this game of their privileged actions and reactions. And these idiots, these Dalit kids, the Dalit settlement boys and the slum dwellers, they don't have a common sense to realize that they are being misused and get to be preyed on, get to be victimized and get stuck in this cycle of being marginalized. This is what is the modern day caste system is. This does not require any kind of discrimination, any kind of uttering slurs or something. This is modern age discrimination which is happening, modern day caste system. This is how it is maintained, and this is happening in our blind side. Like, this is happening like everywhere. And what are we doing about it? We are doing nothing. We are just built, we are just indoctrinated to be phobic towards this particular issue. We are built to be scared. And what do politicians do, knowing all these things happening? They don't mind, because only when the Dalit kids are stuck in this particular cycle of being assassinators, about being goondas and stuff, the politicians can benefit from this caste system. This is multi-layered again. I'm just trying to layer out this particular statement. I too have a Dalit friend and the problems in it. So I need to summarize what I spoke right now. The first thing is, when someone says I too have a Dalit friend, they are not talking about a Dalit friend who's actually marginalized in an economic and a social way. When someone says I too have a Dalit friend, they are obviously talking about the Dalit friend who has equal opportunities, whose parents got a job through reservation, who's economically okayish. That is the Dalit friend they are talking about. But not the Dalit friend who's a first generation learner, who's dark complex, who's actually marginalized in every way possible. That is the problem. That's the first problem. The second problem is, do the upper caste friends help their very marginalized, economically, socially, politically marginalized Dalit kids to know about ways in which they can be emancipated? That's the second problem. The answer is no. The third problem, when this upper caste kid and the marginalized kids from this particular marginalized kids and the upper caste kid who exploits and makes use of the muscle power of the Dalit boys and teenagers, when they both grow up and the upper caste boy gets to be a government officer and this particular Dalit boy is jobless, does this upper caste boy help the Dalit boy to get a job, to get some way, some rainfall, some recommendation in which he can be emancipated? That's the question, and the answer is no. So what happens ultimately? This particular Dalit boy or girl is stuck in this cycle of being marginalized. They just procreate, they reproduce, and that particular kid is again stuck in the cycle. And in turn, they turn into bomb makers, they turn into assassinators and goons, and it goes on and on. And we develop a social phobia, all of us, the allied Dalits, the mainstream kids, and everyone else will develop a social phobia towards Dalits. See, this is what happens. This is modern day casteism. And I honestly have no idea how to fight this. I only can put forth this is happening. So next time when someone says I too have a Dalit friend, ask them for specification. What kind of Dalit friend? And how are you helping your Dalit friend? Are you taking them to your home? Are you taking them to your family functions as you take your own caste friends? Are you treating them as your equal? Question them. Go on, question them until they realize that they are casteist pricks. That's the only way you can make them realize that they are casteist and caste exists and we need reservation and so on. So I'm trying to make sense. If you have some questions or if you find the content offensive, you can comment this particular video. So thank you everyone. This is Shenura.